Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippysCouch. So we're back for another day of Terraria Masochist mode. Now I woke up this morning and I had such a big urge to refight Duke Fishron. At the end of yesterday's episode, I kind of put across the idea that it might not be time to do Duke Fishron. Of course, we can always do the Lunatic Cultist. Duke Fishron is, and probably always will be, a very optional boss. You can fight it and get yourself a set of better wings, or you can fight it and get yourself like a really awesome mana weapon, but essentially it's optional, right? Well, today I just woke up and I just really wanted to fight it. I don't even need to essentially win. I just really crave like that kind of fighting dynamic where you've got to kind of zip around and move really quickly. As I was saying in the last episode, the cool thing about Duke Fishron's fight is that it's over really quickly. It doesn't really feel like you're wasting a lot of energy when you fight it because it's so high energy anyway. So to start today's episode, I want to do a little bit more of Duke Fishron. Now, to make this a little bit easier on myself, I've actually altered the arena a little bit. Now, usually when I do Duke Fishron, I put a little bit of the asphalt brick over the water, but I never really put it on the sand, and usually that's because you don't really need to. In normal expert Terraria, you can kind of get away with what I usually do, but today I've extended it back and I've put it all over the sand. Now, truth be told, I don't actually know if this is the kind of thing that will enrage Duke Fishron. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I know that it's very, selective about where you can bring it and where you can't. But this is it. I've also moved the life statues from the Golem Arena to here, and I'm hoping that will help. This poor angler down here, boy, he doesn't stand a chance. He realizes that Duke Fishron is gonna, beat him down. Boy, you should probably wake up from the nap. Hey, look, it's Python. See you later, Python. He's going to watch this. That's it. He's unsubscribed. So I'm going to start today, like I said, with a little bit of Duke Fishron. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk over the fight. I'm kind of just doing this for me. I'm just going to be honest. I just really fancy this. So let me get started. Let me buff up. Let me get into it. I'm just using the exact same build as yesterday. The only thing that's changed is the fact that the arena is a little bit longer. I don't know if that's really going to help, but, I mean, it can't hurt. Obviously, if it enrages it, it will hurt, but if it doesn't, I think it'll be fine. Okay, so let me slap down one of these bad boys, and I'll try and talk. I'll give the first fight a free pass, right? It's the warm-up fight, as you often have to do with Duke Fishron. So yesterday, I was kind of alluding to the fact that I was recording so early in the morning because there was something at the nighttime I had to prepare for that I wasn't allowed to talk about, or I didn't know if I was allowed to talk about it. Well, classic James here, kind of messed that one up a little bit. So I was actually preparing for the Terraria stream that happens tonight, Friday night. And, well, that's for us in Britain. It's like 1 PM PST. But basically, it's the first Terraria community stream. It's run by the official Terraria team. And it's going to be really interesting. And that's what I was basically in the rehearsals for, to make sure everything would run smoothly. But you know what I did? I agreed to it, completely forgetting that I have something else to do. So I'm actually going to be on it, but I'm going to be on quite late. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get on it, depending how traffic goes. But it's going to be a weekly thing, so I'm hoping that if I can't fully get into it this week, I'll just get into it next week, and I can maybe make a little bit of a regular appearance. That'd be really cool. I know they'd be more than happy with that. So that's what I was up to, right? I didn't know if I could talk about it, because I didn't know just how these things go, right? You never know, do you? It's probably best never to say something if you don't know. So that was yesterday. Today, it's just been a case of, just been chilling today, really. Just been absolutely chilling. This Duke Fishron fight is actually going really good. I was really happy with that. I'm not going to lie. Unless there's a third phase where Duke Fishron just baths out a big Moonlord laser, boy, I think we might be getting there. I actually do. So for this next one, I'm going to be quiet, you know, reserved, and I'll give it another go. See how we do. Maybe without talking, I'll do better. Sometimes, though, when you get a nice, relaxing fight, I actually find talking does help me a little bit because I zone out. And when I'm zoned out, I'm not overthinking a lot of things. I'm just kind of running on autopilot. Does anybody ever get that, you know, when you're driving? Oh, bringing it back to the cars. But I do actually get that when I'm driving. I feel like if I can just go on autopilot, it's usually a better experience. Anyway, right. Let me do a little bit more of this, and then we'll meet up. We'll chat some more. Although I haven't got much to chat about. I really have been chilling. Alright, it's getting pretty close. We're going to see if we can get to a different phase here. Okay, so this must be the third and final phase. And This is... yeah, I think I'm over it. I actually do. I think I've scratched that itch with Duke Fishron, and that's it. So, for context, I ended up doing the fight quite a lot to get to this point, to get to that extra phase. Now, I don't know if I was just slightly overwhelmed, though, because I was like, ooh, something new. So I will try it one more time, but then after one more time, I'm going to call it a day on that one. But I do feel satisfied. I do feel like I wanted to come into today and have a little bit of Duke Fishron, and I do feel like I've gotten it. So it's time to move into a new segment of the show, which will probably be getting beaten down by the Lunatic Cultist boss, which I have, without a doubt, severely underestimated, because I don't really think it's a good boss in general anyway. But we will see. Okay, so let me buff up. Let me begin. Let me get into this. I want to go do this by the Duke Fishron arena so that I can use my my little lantern setup. So let's see if I can move the boss. I actually don't know how far you can move this boss away from the dungeon. But if I had to make a theory, I would probably say, whoa, it brought me back. Whoa. What is this? What is this? This is the definition of underestimate. Are you kidding me? What even is that? I thought he was just going to be like Lunatic Cultist. But guess what, boys? We're pink and we shoot a little bit harder. That was a fever dream. Are you joking? That was awful. I'm sure that you all saw the big tower that it threw at me, right? Did people see that? Well, that was there for a brief second. I really don't know what to say to that one. I think this is where, unfortunately, the series ends, boys. How are you meant to deal with a thing like that? Can't deal for tower being thrown at me. This ain't Thanos, right? I'm not Iron Man. Just James, right? Jesus. That was mad. That was like, genuinely, it was a good few seconds of fever dream. Okay, well, how long does it take for the Lunatic Cultist to come back? Oh, okay. Lunatic Sigil. Consumable. So, could I theoretically do this over here? Or do I have to be near a dungeon? Because if I can do this over here, then I've kind of got my way. And we can all be like, hey, look, there's a little cultist there. All right. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, well, let's give this another go. Fargo's mod coming in big. I appreciate that. Okay, let's give it a second to set up. So quite clearly, there is a system in place so that you can't... Oh, this is bad. Is there a debuff that does this for all of the weapons? You know what I mean? Like, instead of your sword, you're just suddenly holding like a giant hot dog. something goofy. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I really kind of don't understand what I'm doing. I'm just firing away and hoping for the best. It's a bit too much going on for me. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like I just can't concentrate. So I'm just kind of praying that I'll miss enough stuff as I'm like floating around and such. This is a really cool concept though. I think the fight itself is definitely very interesting. I like that the confetti has made a comeback. I enjoyed making that for the thumbnail in the previous episode, before this one, before that one even. How do you commentate on a fight like this? I'm just circling, hoping for the best. I would very much like if I didn't get stuck on this boss, if I'm just being completely honest, because you have to throw that at me. I really feel like it's going to be like an unpleasant experience, this fight, if I'm being honest. There's something about it that I'm just like, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? Does it come across? I think it's just because there's too much. I think that's the problem. I think there's just too much going on. It's hard to really concentrate. But I want to do it, obviously, one more time. We're going to have to keep doing it, because if we want to get to Moonlord, this boy is in our way. But I do feel like this whole area is going to be tombstones eventually. I like that it gives you sigils, though. I do hope that the sigils just remain, like, you just keep getting sigils. That'd be pretty great. No, kill that. I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep going, and I'll let you guys know if anything changes, if I can get a little bit further in the fight. Maybe actually focusing on getting the right lunatic... I can't move. Yeah, maybe focusing on getting the right cultist when it does the fake out would probably be the best for me. I feel like I'm already dead. This fight's already over. Oh, dude, come on. Hate freezing in games. Yeah. This is already dead. What's going on? How do you do this? Alright, so checking in. It's been about, I want to say like 2 hours of just trying to beat this boss, but unfortunately, it's not really going my way. I've tried a couple of different things. I moved over to a melee warriors build for a little while. I've reforged all of my accessories to warding. I watched a video. There's a video of somebody beating the boss, but it's a couple of months old. And unfortunately, I was trying to like go through and go, okay, what can I take from this video? Like what accessories? Turns out the best one that he had is no longer in the game anymore. So it is what it is. I'm kind of like clueless here. So let me head to the dungeon and let me show you what I got. Oh no, I spawned it in the wrong place. It's funny because it keeps spawning back naturally. And I'm like, well, I don't want it to fight there. So I've got a few of these sigils now. Because you can like spawn it, run away, get a sigil, you know. Okay, so we're back. Right, let me enable this. It's not been going too well, as you can clearly see. And I'll just show you where I'm at, right? We'll just talk it through, much like we used to do with Supreme Calamities. But I think what I'll do for today is I'll make it a shorter episode so that if you have some feedback and you're like, James, you should be doing this, we can like get that in. So I've noticed that you get these big, obviously, these big planets, right, that pop up. So you basically avoid the planets, which is fine. Like, I can do that now. But then also it has these little effects that basically if you walk into them, you spray confetti for a few seconds. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not really going to avoid that every single time. I'm not that great. But it is what it is, right? Like just now, spraying confetti out. You always have a dragon to kill that you can't kill because of the confetti. But it's been pretty much this for a while. And then usually the fight kind of stagnates. Stagnates? I don't think it's stagnates. I think it stagnates. Usually it stagnates around the middle and I stop doing as much damage because basically I get kind of bombarded by all of the extra attacks. I seem to get lucky sometimes as well, and the ring that you fight the boss in will always be around some like hearts like that, so I can just go and pick them up, and that's always great, but not always. I'm just trying to like talk through like my little inner monologues that I've been having during these fights. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I think right now it's just difficult. Genuinely, I feel like it doesn't feel balanced for us. For when you're rubbish like me, this seems like impossible. But I've just been looping. Yeah, this is around the point where it starts to feel like the damage is really just going stagnant, right? This is not doing too well. So as you can see, I've moved the fight slightly left. I'd love to move it back right, but you have to get really lucky. So this fight is over, but that is kind of like, that sums up every fight that we've had so far. It's pretty interesting stuff, I have to say. I think before the end of today's episode, I think I'm going to do one extra Duke Fishron fight just for the fun of it. But that's where we're at. So I did make a new accessory, which is this one, the dubious circuitry. So I made this because the person had it in their video. And I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll make that as well. But then other than that, it's just the same old. I don't know what to do. I wonder what we could do to make it better. Like, off the top of my head, I feel like, I really don't know. Maybe some better summons. Maybe if we got the summon from Duke Fishron. Maybe Fishron wings, but I don't feel like it's wings that are bringing me down. I just feel like I'm stuck. So I think I'll do a Duke Fishron fight. I'm going to do that, like, just on my own time. I'll see how that goes. But I think for today's episode, that's going to be it. I know it's a little bit short and doesn't have a satisfying ending, but I would really love if you guys could like chip in with like a little bit of help. I know what you like. You're all really good at stuff like this. If there's like a really cool accessory that I don't know about, just write it below. If it requires a lot of farming, I'll do it. I don't mind. So yeah, so just going back to earlier, there is that Terraria stream. It's at 1 PM PST, so if you just Google time in PST, you'll find it. And if not, it'll be over. And then you can find the VOD on Terraria official Twitch. There you go. Right. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're all great. I'm great. I'm off to a meal. I'm very excited for that. Gonna have a steak probably. It's gonna be delish. Right. See you in the next one, boys. Peace.